Hello my quilting friends, Leah Day here with another tip video for a machine quilting block party. We've pieced our first block, we've marked it with a beautiful design, and now it's time to baste. So let's get started. I'm going to share some tips with how I'm basting each block for this quilt. So the first step to basting your blocks is to secure the backing fabric. And I'm going to tape this down. A lot of times for bigger quilts, I use a slightly different method to secure the quilt to the table. So this is not the method I use for everything, but for something this small, I definitely just grab some masking tape. It's the easiest. So I'm just taping down the sides first. And as I'm doing this, I put the tape on and I just give it a little light tug just to pull it over so that there's no wrinkles, there's no excess fabric here. I don't have like a big puddle in the middle or anything like that. So another thing to do as you're taping down these corners and getting this secure is look for any little bits of lint or thread. Make sure that this is totally clean, especially if you're using a light backing like I am. Any little threads, like for some reason my quilt tables always have black threads all over the place. You don't want that embedded in your quilt because it will show through. So really take your time to kind of take a look at everything and make sure it's totally cleaned up. Now I'm going to top this with my batting. I am using Hobbs Heirloom wool batting for this project. The main reason I love the warmth, I love the slight puff that we get from this batting. Here is what my finished block looks like. And you can see just how soft and kind of squishy this block is. It gives great definition to the areas like the sun, really stand out beautifully. The other thing I love about this is it doesn't hold memory. The last time I used this wool batting in a quilt, I had it folded up and put in a box for months. It had to ship to a show. And I took it out and I was honestly expecting the quilt to be crippled. It had been folded up for so long. I unfolded it, I shook it, and the wool batting did not hold a crease. It was not creased up badly. So I really love wool for that reason. And I've heard that from many show quilters that's the reason why they pick wool, because the quilts can be boxed and folded up for a long time and not show any signs of having been folded like that. So next step is to spread out your batting and just give it a little hand press. You want to make sure, again, you don't have any puddles, you don't have any wrinkles within this. A lot of people ask me about pressing the batting. That's not something that I like to do, mostly because I was in the habit for a long time of using polyester batting. I don't think it's necessary. If you're worried about it, pull your batting out the night before you baste and get it spread out and flat, and it should take care of any extra, deep wrinkles. So now I'm going to top it with my block, and again, just smoothing it all out. What's so nice working with such a small project is that it's not arduous. It's very, very easy to work on. Not a lot of spreading and smoothing because it's so small. Okay, now I am using straight pins and pen moors for basting. And what these are, basically little pin anchors that will secure and cap the ends of my pins, so they're not only easy to install, they're also really easy to take out while I'm quilting. So here's how they work. I'm going to insert the pin into the quilt, and this is just a flower head pin that I've taken and put a little bend into it intentionally, so it looks like that. Now I insert it into the quilt and pop it up, just putting pressure on that flower, and then I cap it with a pin moor. This little silicone nugget holds it in place securely, and it's really, really easy to remove. This is what I love about it. When I'm free motion quilting and working into this area, I just tug on the pin and it pops right out. And I love that. I did bent safety pins for years, and that is certainly fine. I would say if you don't want to do flower head pens and pen moors, then bent safety pins would be my next best choice. And I think that they're great, but they're a little annoying because when you want to pull them out of your quilt while you're free motion quilting, they can sometimes get caught up around your foot. They can sometimes just really get into your way, and that's a challenge. So when I started using pen moors, I just really loved them. They were easier on my hands. I didn't have to use an extra tool in order to get them into my quilt. They were really easy to use and really easy to take out, and that's why I based with them. So you can see I'm putting about 1 pin in every little square, and that should be fine. You don't need to go overboard with this. We're not going to be quilting it super densely, so it's probably not going to do a lot of shifting. So just 1 pin per square, that'll be fine. And as you're working, kind of give it a little smooth with your hand, pop a pin in and cap it. So that's how I'll be basting every single block in this quilt along. So our block is basted up and ready to quilt. Make sure to tune in to our next video and learn how to machine quilt this beautiful block with a variety of designs. If you'd like to join in the fun of this machine quilting block party, click here to pick up the pattern for your first block. Until next time, let's go quilt.